how am I going to cut through this noise and really get recognized as a new agent who doesn't have a gigantic budget? What suggestions do you have for me to make a splash as someone trying to really do well in this industry? What's happening? I'm JC Agajanian, broker associate with the Whissel Realty Group, and we always bring you the summary of the Fast Forward Network's Monday Morning Mastermind. And as usual, we're getting right into it today with two great topics. The first one was a question posed by a new agent, basically asking, how am I going to cut through this noise and really get recognized as a new agent who doesn't have a gigantic budget? What suggestions do you have for me to make a splash as someone trying to really do well in this industry? And the next question that we'll cover today is covering the concept of working with new construction, either with the builders themselves or with the clients in the process of new construction. So let's get straight into it. First of all, there was lots of people lined up, ready and willing to help a new agent looking to really do well in his first year. So one of the first comments was talking about the concept of advertisement. So first of all, we are assuming he's running either a print ad or something on social media, online, some sort of call to action with an advertisement, right? And so basically the recommendation was, don't just say, hey, here's some cool information, call me when you want to talk, or who do you know, or something like that. He was instructed to almost go back to the old unbranded advertorial type of things that used to run in magazines and newspapers. And he said, hey, instead of saying call me, that hook isn't good enough. You need a real hook. And you need to have an advertisement that says something like, here are 9 hacks to make your home ready to sell this winter, or something like that. You got to come up with something of value, something that's clickable, something that's interesting, and have that be the focus of your sales piece, your marketing piece, your advertisement, and not yourself or anything really about you or how great you are or how great you're not or anything else. Focus on something that can help them, that might actually make them click and read further. That's the only focus at all when using a good call to action. Even your own branding and name is less important than the main line and the content you provide. So that was interesting. Let's assume that you don't have a big budget to be running ads and doing things like this. Really the idea is the same kind of information that has been issued out when trying to break into a luxury market or do lots of different things, which is the basics. Call on the phone, knock on the doors, reach out to your sphere, use your social media, do the basic things that don't cost money, but do cost hard work and time, and they cost maybe some stress, some anxiety. All those things are things you can handle if you don't have a big budget. So use them. Now, sometimes people may have a mental block about that. They don't want to use them because they feel like they're new and maybe they don't have the right to be asking for this business or to really be reaching out and asking people to help you out or who they might know to sell. The advice was simply leverage your team and or your company to back you up, use their numbers, and rely on them until you can really, call to some figures yourself to show your experience. Now, that being said, one of the most experienced agents on the whole call, the guy that put it together, his name's Dan Beer, he was trying to think back in his 20 plus years of selling real estate. And he said maybe once, but he wasn't even sure about that. He thinks never has he ever been asked about his specific experience. Usually the only time he's called up, the amount of homes he sold in a neighborhood or the amount of homes he sold at a certain price point or anything like that is when he's the one pushing that in front of the client, trying to make them know, hey, look how great I am. I've done X, Y, and Z. He couldn't think of one instance where someone said, you look kind of young. I'm not sure. How much experience do you have? It just comes up very rarely. So a lot of times that's stuff in our head really that goes on that we need to just block out and think about how well we can do for people instead of what might be holding us back. So that's kind of a sidebar conversation there. Community events. Actually, this does dovetail a little bit into the last one because you don't need to wait until you've got a book full of past clients and a nice budget to go out and throw a big party and welcome your clients and do it a community event. There's nothing that says you can't do this in year one. In fact, we got a story from someone who brought this subject up and said, I actually am in my second year, and last year I did my first community event and I've already get business from it. So it's all about you giving yourself permission to move forward and do things. He didn't throw a massive event himself. He actually, got involved in the community. First of all, he was involved with the Chamber of Commerce, not Converse, those are shoes. And he, found out about something that was taking place. And because he was a member of the chamber and he has become, friendly with people, there was a different price for a table at this event than the public got. So he got a severely discounted price to have a table. He spent maybe like $500 or $600 on some branded water bottles and things to give away. And then he ran a raffle. And that didn't really cost him anything either, because he was able to partner with people that he, either knew from just being a patron at the bar, for example, or the gym that he goes to. And he was able to recruit them to partner with him on this advertisement so that they gave away some free personal training or some free food and drink or whatever it was. He didn't have to come out of that out of pocket. He was still able to run this raffle as though he did collect 50 names and numbers, and he's already got his first listing appointment 30 days after that event, right? So are we giving ourselves permission to succeed, or do we have something in our head saying, oh, maybe you should wait till you've got more experience to go and buy a table at a community event or throw your own party and thank you for your clients? There's no rules that say you can and can't do these things. And the only things that are going to do is limit you. So let's think big and go for it. Another piece of advice for the newer agent is to really obsess over the clients you do have, because you probably don't have a ton of past clients yet if you're a newer agent. So love on them. Show them that you care. Do everything you can. Be involved in their lives. Social media lives, commenting, give them anniversary gifts, birthday gifts, take notice of, maybe kids born or tragedies. If there's a loss in the family, whatever, just be involved and obsess over the clients you have, because that will be the key to you growing your client database, your past client database, until it's so large that you can't do that anymore. And then you'll have new, better, different problems to work on, right? Other advice for the new agent trying to break through is to get consistent with social media and just post regularly. You've got to do it. You've got an audience that is unique to you. Nobody else has access to this specific set of people, so go after it and really provide value, provide social proof. You're working with people, you're doing these things, provide fun stuff to look at, go through nice homes and do tours. People love that stuff. Use your social media, it's free. On that subject, the concept is to not only get regular with your posting, both stories and posts and reels, the whole 9 yard on Instagram if you're not on anything else, of course, Facebook, and moving into the new age with TikTok, and I don't know if people are even paying any attention to Snapchat anymore, but comment and engage on other people's posts more often than you even post yourself. So this is a high regard of actual conversation, right? So you want to be the one who is making a note every week to go through to maybe a specific list in Facebook that you create of friends or just people that you're friends with on Instagram, and make comments. Don't just give it a heart or a thumbs up here and there, but actually engage with them. There's actually an agent in my office who does this so regularly that the majority of his business is coming from referral and past clients from social media only. So you can do that too. All it is a bit of commitment and routine, regularity, making sure that it's in your calendar and happening all the time. So that's it for that topic. Lots of good points for the new agent trying to break through. We're moving on to the idea of working with new construction. So great news, or great advice from one of our more senior agents was saying, Hey, always ask your buyer if they're interested in new construction because that simple oversight can easily be a way to lose a deal without even knowing it. If you don't know that your client is also interested in new construction, they could find themselves in a model showroom someday without you there. And if they end up moving in that direction, all bets are off. Most home sellers who are building new construction are going to require your agent to be with you that first time through the model showroom. And if they put their name down, if they provide any sort of contact information, and it is not accompanied by you in the flesh standing next to them, or at the very least a business card that says, "This is my guy here on day one," and I'm writing my name down, you're out. They're not going to be able to use your services. You're not going to be able to look out for their best interest as they navigate these new development contracts that are not the California Association of Realtor forms or whatever state you're in. They are definitely one-sided builder contracts. So if you're not there on day one, you're out. So first off, always ask your buyers if they're interested in new construction and then educate them. Cool. That's no problem. If you want to do that, you are welcome to. We just need to make sure that they know you have representation already. So on day one, if you say hi to anybody at the sales office, if you fill anything out, make sure that they know you've got representation, you've got my business card with you, or better yet, let me know ahead of time and I will attend that first showing with you and we can see if that's going to have a real viable option in this development, right? So that's important. If you're trying to maybe cozy up to the developer, one way to do that, and this is kind of just, mutually beneficial, really. Go to the model homes, make live videos, do a tour. You could snap a ton of photos of this really pretty home and just be loaded up with imagery for your social media for the next week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks or more, depending on what you do. So go just be there, meet people, make use of the space, do videos, lives, virtual walkthroughs, take photos, and just make the most of it. It's there for. It's the reason the model is there is to sell things, and you are there to sell things. So it all works together. It's great. Another really interesting tip, and this requires a little more thought and networking, but one agent said that one of the best ways to get in with home builders is to make connections with them before they're home builders. So that sounds kind of crazy, and it's like, sure, obviously, yeah, I'd love to do something like that. But her advice was to, take advantage of relationships that you have with people who are contractors but maybe haven't gotten into building from scratch yet. You probably know people that are doing remodels, that are doing repairs for your clients, maybe through other connections and family or friends or whatever they may be. Use those connections and ask them, is building from scratch and selling on speculation, is that part of your plan? Would you like to do that someday? If so, how can I help you? Can I search for some lots that maybe are undervalued that you could really take advantage of? I mean, you got to help this person, if that's their interest, think more like a builder and then be the person to go help enable it, make it happen. So if you are one of those people that help get somebody from remodels and repairs to new construction, it's going to be a natural fit that you're going to be the phone call when it's time to go sell that home. So partner up, help them get going on that first property and be ready to move forward when they are. So that's it for our topics today. I hope it was helpful for you. I hope there is something in here that you can use and implement into your business right away. I'd love to chat with you. If you've got questions, comments on any of it, just shoot me a DM below, and I'll talk to you soon.